this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC. Work can be a little weird. Cringy training seminars, coworkers who won't stop talking about their plant, forgetting the mute button at an inopportune moment. We have to deal with a lot on any given workday. Sometimes it can feel hard to thrive and move forward in your career. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn helps you get ideas and insights from experts in your field, connect with people professionally, grow your network, and access tools designed to help you find the right fit for your next role. Whether you're just getting started, figuring out your next move, or looking to accelerate your career, LinkedIn is built to support you at every stage, because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Hey everybody, it's me, Josh, and this week for SYSK Selects, I've selected our episode on Rasputin, the Mad Monk. And I remember it was recorded during a weird time at How Stuff Works. For some reason, we were recording in an old corner office, and there were weird blackout drapes on the windows. It was very odd, but it lent itself perfectly to this episode. And a heads up, I should say, this one has a lot of talk about genitalia, so if you're a parent, you may just want to be aware of that. Are we talking about Rasputin? You're darn tootin'.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark, and there's Charles W. Chuck Bryant, and this is Stuff You Should Know, the podcast.
That's right. Are we doing Rasputin?
Yeah, we're doing Rasputin.
Okay. No disputing Rasputin.
That's right.
Actually, there is a lot of disputing.
There's tons of it. The man's whole life is in dispute, pretty much.
Mystic, hypnotist,
possible healer,
porn star.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not a porn star.
He was into some freaky stuff.
He could have been. He's a big dude, 6'4".
Yeah, I saw that written down.
And there's pictures of him, which is great because this is a time in our world history where we had photographs of these folks.
Right, but even that said, like the fact that there are surviving photographs of him when he was just some peasant in Russia really speaks to the impact that he had on the people around him.
Totally. There
are very few Russian peasantry portraits, you know?
Yeah, I bet.
Or studies of a specific person from 1880.
Yeah.
1890 even.
That's a good point.
But there's pictures of Rasputin before he became famous.
Yeah, and those creepy eyes.
Yeah. It depends on the photo, I think.
I think some of them they make a little more creepy.
Yeah.
Some of them look photoshopped.
Yeah.
Like the glowing ones and stuff.
Well, plus also when he's I think he turns it on sometimes too, oh, look at me, I'm
totally.
A freak.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about Rasputin. I think everybody kind of has a certain idea. He's also known as the Mad Monk.
Yeah.
And he was a prolific lover.
Yeah. He was a kinky man.
Yeah. And he had the ear of the Tsar and the Tsarina, the last ones, Tsar Nicholas II and his wife.
Of the Romanov?
Yeah, the Romanovs. That's another way to put it.
Yeah.
So Alexandra and Nicholas II invited Rasputin to their court, which we'll get into. Let's just start chronologically here, though.
Okay. Like birth?
Yeah.
Well, he was born Grigori Efimovich Rasputin in 1869 Siberia. I imagine being born in Siberia in 1869 is just a big ball of laughs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Or in 2013.
Yeah.
And he supposedly, although this was disputed by his daughter, I believe.
Yeah, I want to say, for me, this was the fact of the podcast. Rasputin had children.
Yeah.
Like, he had a family. He was married from age 20 on.
Yeah, and they still exist, apparently, in France.
One of them lives in Los Angeles, I believe.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Porn star?
I don't think so. But, I mean, think about it. Rasputin, and just bear that in mind, he was married and had a family.
Yeah.
This whole time, from age 20 on.
Yeah, that's a little weird, actually.
Yeah.
So his daughter, I believe, disputed this, but apparently early on his religious activity was, and he was involved with a group called the Klists, with a K and an H.
And a Y.
And a Y.
And then everything else normal.
And then they were into some serious, like, sexual activity, like self-flagellation that erupted into orgies.
Right. Self-flagellation in front of a group.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, okay, it's humpy time.
Yeah, with the idea that in order to cleanse yourself of sins, you just had to do a lot of that sin. Is that right?
Yeah, and the reason that they would have orgies was because it was part of their religious belief was that if somebody was having trouble with sin, you had to help them work it out. Get rid of the sin by doing the sin.
Right.
And apparently it was a sin to have an orgy, and so they did it a lot.
Interesting.
And they were hated among the Russians, basically. They were mistrusted.
Yeah.
They were just viewed upon as weird, and they were actually fairly subversive, and they knew that they were viewed like this. So one of the tenets of being a Klist was that you went to the church, the Russian Orthodox Church, and you were fervent and outspoken and super into the Russian Orthodox Church by all outward appearances.
Oh, really?
That was what you did if you were a Klist.
And then your dirty secret was
right.
You would whip yourself and have sex with like 20 people at the same time.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, like I said, his daughter disputed that he was involved, although historians say that he was. So who knows?
I read that she said that he was rejected by the Klists.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he might have. Well, never mind. We'll get to that. He may have been too much for them. So he built his reputation traveling around Russia as a healer, as a mystic and a preacher, and eventually landed in St. Petersburg in 1905. Somehow got introduced to the aforementioned Tsar and Tsarina.
Yeah, but before that, he'd undergone a religious conversion. Apparently, from about the age of 12, he was like doing it with anything he could get his hands on. And I don't know what age, but I would say before 20, between 12 and 20, some monk came through the village, and said, "You know what? I think you should come with me to the monastery. I think you're kind of special.
You've got some talent."
Exactly.
Young man.
So he took him to the monastery, and that's where Rasputin underwent this religious conversion there, and came out like really fervently religious, like the real deal. He actually walked from Russia to Palestine and back. Walked. That's not a short trip.
Is there a dispute in that, or is that?
Not that I understand.
Okay.
I haven't seen that disputed.
Gotcha.
But I think that's a good point to bring up. Anything that sounds even remotely a stretch that's attached to Rasputin, you should probably take with a grain of salt.
Yeah, because he was such an odd, unique individual in world history, there's been like countless stories, and I'm sure at the time there were just like rampant stories about who this guy was.
Yeah, and not only that, most of them were written and spread by his enemies.
Yeah.
He was a very hated person contemporarily. So the original accounts are of people who are trying to make him look bad.
Sure.
And then people started basing biographies on those original accounts.
Yeah.
And that's why he's got such a bad reputation. There's so much lore and legend and confabulation surrounding him. So you don't really know much about him.
He was just like, I'm just a giant Siberian monk looking for a good time. Like, why's everyone out to get me?
Why's everybody got so many hang-ups?
I know, the haters.
So yeah, he makes it. He's already kind of known as a starlet. Start, yeah.
It's a religious advisor.
By the time he gets to St. Petersburg.
Yeah. And
he's hanging out there. He's like, we're going to make it in the big city. This is where the Romanovs live. This is a good place for me to be. And apparently he, like you said, impressed somebody enough that he was taken to the Romanovs and introduced to them at court.
This might as well be Boogie Nights.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
You know?
Yeah.
He's Eddie from the Valley.
Yeah.
All right, so he does get introduced and worms his way into the inner circle. Not worms his way through. He earned his place in the inner circle.
He definitely did.
By healing a hemophiliac son, Alexis, who was the heir to the throne and very important to keep around and alive. And
he was the only boy in the family.
Yeah, despite being a hemophiliac, he would do dumb things like ride horses and fall off them.
Right.
And apparently, on the first time, that happened the second time, he was not doing so hot, and Rasputin supposedly healed him. possibly through hypnosis.
So, with hemophilia, I didn't really realize this. I always thought hemophilia was where you cut yourself and like your wound wouldn't clot.
It's that as well, right? Or not at all?
It is.
Yeah.
But I thought that was it.
Right.
Apparently, the much bigger problem is with internal bleeding.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going on.
Right. And that's what Alexei had. And they were worried about him becoming a morphine addict, so they wouldn't give him any morphine. So he would just suffer like these bouts of internal bleeding.
Poor kid.
And Rasputin, the doctors couldn't do anything.
Right.
And Rasputin came along the first time and basically just took away his pain.
Yeah, and in 1912 it happened again. This is after the horse fall.
Yeah.
And he was, I believe, not there at the time, and Tsarina gave him a ring and said, "Hey, Rasputin, we need you to do your thing again." And he sent a telegram that said, "Don't sweat it. He's going to recover the next day."
Yeah.
And I guess, like, long distance hypnosis or whatever happened, or maybe healing prayers, who knows? Or maybe none of that.
Yeah, there's also a hypothesis that he exerted the first calming influence over the house about this matter that anyone ever had, and that in and of itself had some sort of healing effect.
I think
because supposedly he was known to be a very calming figure.
Well, and I think
you're in his presence.
With hemophilia, I think to lowering your stress levels will help. So,
I'll bet.
Yeah,
man, stress is a killer, isn't it?
It is, literally. So, at the same time, while this is all going on, like you said, there were people out there that did not like him, one of which, not the least of which, was Prime Minister Peter Stolypin. And he was like gathering a case, putting a case together basically to present and get him ousted from the court, saying this guy's a crazy sex pervert.
Yeah, I think he was not the first one to accuse him of being a clist, but like really was taking that and running with it.
Yeah, like he wanted him gone, and he died being shot at the opera before he could make this case.
Yeah.
And some say that old Tsar Nicholas might have been behind that.
Yep.
But we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, he was the Tsar.
Yeah, they were
what
not
are you
keeping
gonna do?
records very well in Russia at the turn of the century, were they?
Especially not of cover-up scandals.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey everybody, we're here to talk to you about Wayfair, who believes that spaces should be functional, they should be comfortable, they should be well designed, and they can be well designed by you with their help.
Your updated space should feel more comfortable, inviting, and practical for everyday use. And we're talking about outdoor seating. We're talking about grills. We're talking about major appliances. If you need storage solutions, Wayfair can help you out. Patio lighting, rugs, decor. It is your one-stop shop for home.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting nice out, so it's time to think about living outdoors for the next few months. And Wayfair knows that outdoor furniture, it's heavy, it's intimidating to assemble. So Wayfair has stepped in and said, we're going to handle the hard part so you don't have to.
That's right. You can shop Wayfair Verified, your shortcut to the good stuff. And that means their team of product specialists are going to vet everything by hand using a 10-point inspection, testing things like, quality materials, functionality and features, and even how long it takes to build that piece of furniture. And the overall experience save time, reduce hassle, and improved convenience.
Patio season is here, and these deals won't last. So head to wayfair.com right now to get your outdoor space ready for way less. That's WAYFAIR.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
So Peter Stolypin comes up. He tries it. Fails.
Yeah, not tried to kill him, just tried to get him removed.
Right. We should let's provide a little backdrop here.
Okay.
At about this time, this is 1910, 1912, 1914.
Sure.
The world is undergoing a huge transition.
Yeah.
From agriculture to industrialization.
Yeah.
And the Russian peasantry loves the Tsar. They love those guys.
Yeah.
But
the farmers.
Yeah. In the cities, an urban working class is developing, and they don't love the Tsar. They think the Tsar is disconnected, out of touch, is back in these agrarian days, and everybody's moving forward into the factories, and that there's the Tsar has no love for these new people. And this is where Lenin came from, and the Bolsheviks came from, were these factories. So this is all going on in the background. That's in Russia. Outside of Russia, Europe is going to war for World War I. So Russia is torn between these domestic problems and these international problems.
Yeah.
And it's headed by a family that is becoming viewed as increasingly out of touch with what's going on in Russia, and therefore are losing legitimacy pretty quickly. And now all of a sudden, there's this weird guy who humps anything that moves and has the ear of the Tsar and the Tsarina. And where did he come from? What's going on?
Yeah, and increasingly less influence on the Tsar apparently over the years, but increasingly more influence on the Tsarina.
Yeah.
She was way into him, especially after he healed the sun twice, or supposedly did.
Right.
And
well, she definitely believed he did. So
that's all. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Say it.
That's all it took.
And he even called them Mama and Papa, which I thought was interesting.
I think that's manipulative. He was I take it from my impression that he was being manipulative by calling them that, and I'll bet it was creepy.
I bet it was. So he's in the newspapers and stuff. He's becoming a well-known guy, and I'm sure the industrialists are reading this. And like you said, who is this guy that's at the center of all this?
Yeah.
And he's got this great influence. And who even is he? Even.
Well, he had not only influence, but once Russia joined World War I,
it was all over.
It was. Tsar Nicholas goes off to command the army, and the Tsarina is left in charge, which means Rasputin is
sort of in charge.
Yeah,
not in charge,
very close to being in charge himself. And he was in a position to stack well-paying, high-level government jobs with friends,
cronies,
who were incompetent and inept. And they almost completely undermined the infrastructure of Russia. Like, trains didn't operate, armaments weren't built for the war effort, people weren't fed. There was like nobody running the show, or nobody who knew what they're doing that was running the show, and it was all Rasputin's fault. And this was the last straw.
Yeah.
This is what led to the revolution.
Well, and also to some murder attempts.
Well, yeah, he's like Bob Marley. People would try to kill him, and it just didn't happen, you know?
The first one, on June 16th, this woman, Kionia Kozmishna Guseva.
Oh, that was good, Chuck.
Thank you. Apparently was sent by a former friend of his named Sergei Truvanov. He was a monk who was tight with Rasputin, but they split up in 1911 because he was kind of disgusted by his, humpiness. And apparently sent this woman to murder him, and she stabbed him in the stomach, and it was gnarly. Apparently he had some entrails hanging out.
Jeez.
It was easily a mortal wound, but here in the article they just said he healed a few weeks later. They made it sound like he healed himself. Mm-hmm. He had surgeries, and I think it was 8 to 10 weeks of recuperation. I don't think there was any mystery to that, but they did manage to save his life. But he wasn't the same after that. He became an opium user, and the daughter was one that was just it was just different after that.
That sucks.
He had bad stomach problems, which we'll get to later. Actually, that'll play a role. See,
there's one other aspect of Rasputin that I kind of gathered about him from researching him, and that was he had this thing. Not that thing.
He did.
He had kind of a light. He had an exuberance. He loved life. He didn't seem to be even though he's been accused of all sorts of manner of crimes, we don't really know what he did or didn't do back then, because again, contemporary sources are
is he the devil?
Against him.
Yeah.
But he seemed to have something that was really neat about him. He was somebody that I think a lot of people wanted to be around.
Yeah.
And the idea that that went out of his stomach wound.
Oh yeah.
That's sad.
It is.
Not as sad as what ultimately happens to him, but let's keep going.
All right. What ultimately happened is a plot was hatched, and we'll get to the newer, possibly truer story. But here's the original story. Prince Felix Yusupov, he was the husband of the niece of the Tsar Nicholas on December 29th, 1916.
He was also the gay lover of the person who was also an heir to the throne, if Alexei didn't make it, who the Brits favored. So keep that in mind.
So he was married to the niece and the gay lover of...
Yeah.
So he had both his bases covered, basically.
Right, exactly.
Well, good for him. 1916, that's pretty, forward-thinking.
Sure.
So he plotted to...
We're all going to evolve into bisexual.
Maybe. He plotted to kill Rasputin to save Russia, and here's where things really, like the details of how this went down, are really highly disputed to this day.
Yeah. What's
supposedly
his name? Yusupov?
Yeah, supposedly he invited him over, said, "Hey, come take a look at my wife. You'd like her."
I also read that he said, "We got a gypsy wine party going on over here," and Rasputin's like, "I'm there."
Well, here's the deal, though. He gets there. He laces pastries and cakes and wine with cyanide, enough to kill like 5 men. Supposedly Rasputin starts chowing down. Nothing happens. The daughter disputes this and says he had bad stomach problems after his stabbing incident, and he didn't drink wine or eat sweets anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said.
Well, that explains the later finding.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It does explain the later finding, perhaps. But he had hyperacidity in his stomach, and she's like, he just wouldn't have been doing that. Okay. Or possibly he was immune. That was another theory, which I think is bunk, that he had taken part in Mithridatism, which is like slowly building up your immunity to poison by ingesting small amounts of poison.
I've been doing that for years.
I'm sure you have. Oh, is that why?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Or maybe they have a theory that the cyanide might have vaporized when they baked the stuff in cakes.
Oh, yeah.
With the high temperatures.
Dummies.
But at any rate, the poison had no effect on him, and they were like, what is going on with this creep? Like, he could have killed 10 men with this stuff.
Or an ox, Yusupov later said.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So they said, I don't know what we'll do. Let's just shoot him in the back.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And he did so. He fell down and died, they thought. He checked his pulse.
Wait. First they went upstairs and partied.
Well, they checked him out, and then, like, he's dead, let's go party.
Right.
And then he came back down, I think, to get a coat or something, and checked him again.
To get a coat?
I think that's what the story, how the story goes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when Rasputin's just like, he comes alive and, like, attacks the guy.
After they shot him twice in the back, right?
I think...
At least once.
2 times at that point?
I think so.
It ended up being 4 total, with 1 in the forehead.
Right.
Which we'll get to as well.
Okay, so they shot him once, and then they came back downstairs, and he's still moving. Not only is he still alive, he manages to get to his feet and bust out the door.
Yeah.
And out into the yard, out into Yusupov's yard. And that's when they shot him twice.
Yeah, and beat him, like, severely. There's pictures of his body. Like, he was severely beaten with a rubber club. Tied him in a blanket, dumped his body in the Neva River.
So let's go over this again. Shot in the back once. Mm-hmm. He gets up, goes outside. They shoot him 2 more times. They beat him with the club.
Yeah.
They wrap him up in a blanket.
Well, no, somebody shot him in the forehead, too. That was a 4th shot.
Okay. Shot him in the forehead, wrap him up in a blanket, drop him into a frozen river that they've carved a hole into.
Yeah.
And then that's that for Rasputin.
That's that.
Until they find him. And they found him, and his arm was outstretched like he'd managed to struggle free of the blanket.
Right. He managed to partially free himself, indicating that maybe he wasn't even dead when they put him in the water.
So they did an autopsy on him, and the autopsy lists Rasputin's mode of death as hypothermia. Not being shot 4 times, not being beaten to death.
Including the forehead shot, which all manner of, like, evidence says that this was a kill shot by a professional.
Yeah. But supposedly he died of hypothermia.
Supposedly.
And then mysteriously they didn't, although now that you've explained it, not so mysteriously, they didn't find arsenic in his system.
Right.
But that, until, I guess, recently...
I think it was cyanide.
Cyanide, okay.
Yeah.
That was a big point of lore. Like, he ate all this stuff, this cyanide-laced pastry.
Yeah.
And, like, it didn't even show up in his system.
Right.
Well, it sounds like it didn't show up in his system because he didn't actually eat that stuff. And we have great cause to wonder if he was beaten. Was he?
Yeah, he was beaten.
Okay. So he was shot 4 times.
Yeah.
And I guess he was dumped in the river.
Yeah.
But what's in dispute then? Who shot him?
Yeah, who shot him, and what was the actual cause of death? Did he really free his arm, or was that just something that that happened?
Gotcha.
Like, what was the cause of death? And did they cut his penis off?
Well, that's a big one too. Supposedly, man, all these double entendres are
I know,
totally
it's
accidental.
so hard.
Man. I apologize.
Oh, there's another one.
I haven't met a single. Oh my God! I just need to stop.
So supposedly they may have cut his penis off, and it is changed hands throughout the year, maybe even belonging to a French collector who loaned it to a Russian museum to put on display for a little while. There are pictures, and we just don't know if that's it or not.
If it is, it's ginormous.
Good for Rasputin.
So much so that apparently no one's actually tested it, but just looking at it, some biologists have been like, that's a horse. That's from a horse or a cow.
Yeah. Or, as you said earlier, it looked like a baby's arm holding an orange.
I think it is.
So, we don't know if that's his penis or not. It definitely adds another little strange sidebar to the story.
It definitely does. Also, we should say that after he was buried and the Bolsheviks revolted, they dug him up and burned his body.
Oh, yeah?
Because
I don't think I knew that.
We should say the Bolsheviks did revolt.
Yeah.
The Tsar abdicated the crown in March of, I think, 1917.
Uh-huh.
And then the revolution happened. They were placed under house arrest. And then, very famously, the entire Romanov family, their doctor, 2 servants, and the family dog were all executed by Bolshevik revolutionaries, including Anastasia.
Yeah, and Rasputin had predicted that along with his own demise before he died, writing, if it was one of your relations who have wrought my death, then no one in the family, none of your relations will remain alive for more than 2 years.
Yep.
That was my Rasputin.
And that's what happened. I mean, he was killed in December, the end of 1916. They were killed before the end of 1918, so he was right. And apparently he'd also written that he didn't expect to make it to January 1st.
Oh, really?
And he was killed 2 days before it.
Yeah, there were disputes about the date, too, but I think they settled on December 30th.
So what's up with the weirdness now?
Well, they've dug into this more recently in the 2000s. Scotland Yard has a detective named Richard Cullen and a historian named Andrew Cook, and they have a theory that I think is probably true, that it was the SIS, the British Secret Service, actually led the plot to kill him. And modern forensics believe they have tied the gun and the caliber of the bullet in the forehead was different than the other 3.
Oh, yeah?
And so they have tied that back, because it was not a rare gun, but rare enough to where they tied it back to this guy,
Oswald Rayner?
Oswald Rayner, who was a British officer who was there.
He was there. He was also a friend of Yusupov. And while he's not named in Yusupov's memoirs about the murder of Rasputin, which Yusupov boasted about frequently, he does appear suddenly in that same time. So he's in the city.
Yeah.
And, a retired Scotland Yard detective and an historian both think that he's the one who carried out the kill shot. Yeah,
and Rayner actually supposedly told his cousin that he was there and that he was the guy that did the deed. But before he died in 1961, he burned all his papers, and he only had one son, and he died just a few years later. Mm-hmm. So all evidence is gone except for a memo. A memo was sent between Rayner's superiors, John Scale and Stephen Alley, who weren't there at the time, and the memo says this, quote, "Although matters have not proceeded entirely to plan," which, that's pretty true.
Yeah.
Our objective has clearly been achieved. Reaction to the demise of dark forces, which was Rasputin's code name, have been well received by all, although a few awkward questions have already been asked about wider involvement. Rayner is attending to loose ends and will no doubt brief you on your return.
Wow.
So it sounds pretty rock solid to me that the SIS might have been behind it.
Right. So there was another conspiracy that's actually probably just a broader look at that it was actually the Prime Minister of Great Britain, David Lloyd George, who was ultimately behind this plot to murder Rasputin and install Yusupov's gay lover, the prince.
Right.
And the whole reason for either of these theories, the whole reason the Brits would want to get involved in the first place was because they were worried that either one, Rasputin was going to persuade Nicholas to withdraw from the war, or he was going to continue undermining the credibility of the Romanovs so much that there was a revolution.
Right.
And either way, Russia was going to withdraw from the war, which is a big problem because they were keeping Germany busy on the Western Front,
right,
which meant that Germany was divided between the Western Front with Russia and the Eastern Front with the Brits.
Dicey.
It was. So if Russia pulled out, then Germany could put all of their attention on the Western Front.
Right.
Yes.
Where all was quiet.
I got them wrong the first time. I got them backwards.
Yeah. But you corrected yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, maybe so. Maybe Britain, and it makes sense if it was SIS, it might have gone all the way to the top.
Yeah.
The prime minister.
Yeah, it's true.
So
that's Rasputin. That's everything there is to know about him, and completely factual, every word of it.
Yes, Rasputin.
Well, let's see. If you want to learn more about Rasputin, you can type his name into the search bar at howstuffworks.com. That is capital Rasputin, Rasputin. And since I said Rasputin, that means it's time for a message break.
Stuff you should know.
Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
Now it's time for listener mail.
Josh, this is a very special listener mail because it features Jerry.
Oh, that is special.
This wasn't even to us,
I know.
This is like, forget you guys. This is for Jerry. So, here's how it goes. I've been listening to your show from the very beginning, guys, and I have never missed an episode. I listen to about 15 podcasts on a regular basis, and listening to those other podcasts makes me truly appreciate the job that Jerry does on your show. While listening to other shows, I often hear pieces that were intended to be edited out, but obviously were not. This is something that is extremely distracting to me. What usually happens is one of the hosts starts a sentence, doesn't come out right, so they go back and start that sentence over again. It's not done in a very natural way, and it drives me crazy, kind of like finding an obvious typo in a book. Boy, I hate that too.
Yeah.
When this happens, it takes away from the conversation aspect of the podcast and emphasizes the fact that there's an outline for these conversations. While I cannot guarantee that it has never happened in your show, I can't think of one time where something was obviously supposed to be edited out but was not. Right?
Yeah.
The production of your show is so good, it feels like you do the podcast in one continuous take without any edits. That is not true, by the way.
We're not that good.
No. We don't stop and start a lot.
No, it happens. Mistakes happen.
Yeah, but we're pretty conversational.
Sometimes we say things that we know we can't include.
It feels like you do the podcast in one take without any edits. There is much more. This is much more entertaining because it feels more like an organic conversation and a planned out discussion. Obviously, you guys plan your podcast with outlines and points you want to touch on. Not true.
No, that is not true. And that goes to Jerry's powers and skills.
That's right.
That guy thinks that.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I feel like we said it a gazillion times in interviews, but not everyone reads that stuff. We have our first conversation about the topic right here in the studio. We study independently, then we come down, sit down, and we have our first conversation about it.
Right.
Sometimes there are starts and stops, and Jerry takes care of that. All right, finishing up here. It seems more natural in your podcast than any others that I listen to. So I just wanted to thank you guys for many hours of entertainment, and thank you especially to Jerry. She needs a raise, even if it comes out of your pockets. I agree that she needs a raise.
Not out of our pockets.
But not out of our pockets. And that is from Spencer M. Couch of Couch Law. And I was like, can I mention your law firm? And he was like, please do.
Yeah.
So that is Couch Law in Bountiful, Utah.
For all your maritime law needs.
Not in Bountiful, Utah.
Call Couch Law.
I'm not sure what kind of law he practices, but if you are in Bountiful, Utah and you're in need of a lawyer, give him a call. And say, hey, you've got good taste and you appreciate the fine work of Jerry. So here's $400 an hour.
Right. And if you are in need of a world-class podcast editor, you're going to have to keep looking because Jerry's ours.
That's right.
Yep. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right.
She just saluted us.
Yes, you did. If you want to sing Jerry's praises, we love hearing that kind of thing. Jerry does
just one's
especially.
enough.
Oh, is it?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. You can tweet to us at SYSK Podcast. You can join us on Facebook.com/StuffYouShouldKnow. You can send us an email to StuffPodcast@discovery.com, right?
Yeah.
Jerry gets those too. And you can join us on our home on the web, StuffYouShouldKnow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey everybody, here's a fact for you. In the United States, there is a break-in every 26 seconds, and that means that somewhere right now, an intruder is getting closer. And the problem with most security systems is that they only alert you after the break-in has started, and that's too late.
Well, that's what makes SimpliSafe different. They use alerts. SimpliSafe's US-based live agents, they identify threats on your property and help deter them before they actually break in. So the intruder never gets into your house. The crime is stopped before it even starts.
That's right. And another great thing about SimpliSafe is they have no long-term contracts. They give you peace of mind and great value with their monitoring deterrence plans because they just start at about $1 a day.
Yeah, SimpliSafe sent us a setup years back, and I still use mine every day.
Yeah, and apparently setup, you can do it by yourself in under 30 minutes, so it's a really good value and it doesn't take long.
So if you want to experience the SimpliSafe peace of mind, you can take advantage of the SimpliSafe discount offered to Stuff You Should Know listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting SimpliSafe.com/stuff. That's half off at SimpliSafe.com/stuff. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Every parent should know the car ride soundtrack. Are we there yet? How much longer? I'm bored. Well, if you're taking an extensive car ride anywhere and you've downloaded the Lingo Kids app prior to leaving the house, you may experience something strange, right, Chuck?
That's right. You may experience silence from the back seat. Your kid may go an entire car ride without asking once if they were there yet. How about that? And by chance of miracle, they may even ask if you could drive longer.
Yeah, that's the magic in Lingo Kids. Over 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows, including their favorite Disney characters. It turns the longest drives into the easiest ones, and honestly, you won't understand why you didn't download it sooner.
That's right. Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids, and it's free to download. Or go plus with the Lingo Kids subscription and unlock even more content your kids won't be able to get enough of. You can save up to 60% on the yearly plan. Just search Lingo Kids in the App Store or Google Play. Lingo Kids, everything kids love.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.